Okay, in this video, we're going to look at doing a puff stitch. There are lots of versions of a puff stitch. Okay, so this specific one is the one that I've used in my Linus blanket because this tutorial is going to be included in that pattern. There are also bean stitches and bobble stitches, and they're all kind of variations of the same thing, but this specific one is a puff stitch. So I've just done myself a bit of fabric to start, so I've just done some doubles just so I can show you. Puff stitches are very easy. Basically, it's lots of yarn overs and in. So I tend to do a 7 loop one. So you go yarn over, into the stitch, yarn over and through. So I've got 3 there. Yarn over, into your stitch, yarn over and through. So I'm now at 5 loops. Yarn over, into your stitch, yarn over and through. So I've now got 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through them all. Puff stitch. And then I'm going to single into my next. Okay, there are variations on doing this different ways. Okay, for this one, I'm going to stick with showing you this. Okay, I will do other variations at another time. So yarn over, that's the dog having a shake in the background. Yarn over into your stitch and yarn over, 3 loops. Yarn over and in, yarn over and out, 5 loops. Yarn over and in, yarn over and out, 7 loops. Yarn over and pull through them all. Okay, now for a bigger puff, I could just do more yarn overs and ins. All right, like I say, I quite like the look of a 7 loop one. Some people, depends on the pattern, sometimes people will finish it off with a chain, a simple chain like that before doing the next bit. Everybody's different, so each pattern's different, so please look carefully. If you come across a pattern and you're not 100% sure, feel free to drop me a message. I'll help you out if the pattern designer isn't available. Because like I say, there are variations, but this is my go-to puff stitch. So yarn over and in, yarn over and out, yarn over and in, yarn over and out, yarn over and in, yarn over and out. Like I say, if I wanted a bigger puff stitch, I could just do another yarn over and in, and then I've got 9 loops. Same thing, pull through them all at the end, you just get a bigger puff. Okay, equally, if I wanted a smaller puff, I could do fewer. That is literally all there is to a puff stitch. Like I say, some people will finish it off with a single chain just to tighten it off. Just make sure you read your pattern carefully. It'll usually be at the beginning in special instructions or special stitches if your designer is going to use a puff stitch. But yeah, like I say, I like a nice easy one where I end up with 7 loops on my hook and then I pull through. The other one that you sometimes vary, I told you I was going to stick with the one. The other variation you sometimes see is you pull through not quite all the stitches. So you leave the last one and then you pull through those. Okay, so again, that's just a slight different variation for tightening it off. You can see with that one, it looks slightly different. Okay, it's a little bit trickier if you're a novice, just getting used to pulling through everything but the last one. It's a little bit more fiddly. So like I say, for a beginner puff stitch, I just like to go yarn overs and in, yarn overs and out until I've got 7 loops and then pull through all of my loops. Okay, some patterns you will do puff stitch after puff stitch after puff stitch. Some you might do chains or stitches in between your puffs. It just depends on the effect that the designer is looking for. Okay, but yarn over, in, yarn over out, yarn over in, yarn over out, yarn over in, yarn over out. You don't even have to keep track of what you're doing, you just have to be able to count how many loops you've got on your hook at the end. Once you hit 7, yarn over and pull through them all. And that's your basic puff stitch.